My name is Gene Winkler, and I'm back here with you today to bring you this podcast that we started here in Marion, and that the name of it is Marion, a City with Pride. Um, you know, we I've been thinking about this podcast since we started, and my brain is kind of on overload mode right now, and I think about it all the times. Uh, but 3 a.m. in the middle of the morning, you're laying there wide awake and trying to think about something that you're going to do, and that's not a good time to do it. So I put together today this podcast about something that I'd like to talk about, and first of all, I would like to talk about how you, as a person, see and hear. You think about the two E's. You have two ears and you have two eyes. And when you are watching a podcast, if you just had the podcast going and you would hear what the person is talking about, is one way that your brain absorbs the information. The second way is with your eyes. And this is why I wanted to do this podcast with this PowerPoint slideshow, so that when you watch it, you not only get the visual, but you also hear what is going on. So why you watch a podcast? I think there's probably three reasons. There's probably many more reasons that people watch podcasts. The first one I thought about is for information about different things that are going on in your location, news, things that are happening, and how to do videos. There's podcasts out there probably about on anything you want to look at to learn how to do it. It's sort of like a YouTube channel, but just a little difference. And the reason for doing this podcast today, we're living in an age when everybody wants to get their news and information instantly. This civilization now, people are always in a hurry. There's things going on, and they just want to know things a whole lot quicker. So let's look back into history and how you used to get your news and information. So we're going to take a little trip back 65 years to 1960. These are some of the ways we had then. We had the newspaper, the Marion County Record, started here in Marion in 1871. And we had the radio, and we had television. These are about the only ways then that you had to get this kind of information you wanted, and it wasn't very fast. It was slow, but that was the way it was done back then. So let's take a look at the first one here, the paper. These are some of the disadvantages you have with a newspaper. You only receive it like once a week. You can't remember where you left it. Was the news that I'm looking for in that paper? And you're confined to just being at one spot. The next form of information that you had back in those days in 65 was the radio. A lot of the homes had these radios there, and they would gather around the radio in the evening, the family would, and listen to some of the old-time programs that was on there at that time. And so, there's not too much to say about it. It just sat on the table in the same spot, and you gather around in the evenings and listen. Let's look at television now. Do you remember when you got your first TV? I remember mine. It was back in the late 1950s. I was living up to Axtell, Kansas, and going to school and was living there with my grandmother. And I remember on Saturday nights we used to go downtown at the show, and the furniture store there on Main Street had a TV that was sitting in the window, and they always had it on Saturday nights so you could watch it. And I remember when we got our first one, they brought it up to the house and set it up. And of course, it was black and white, but we come up with ways we would take some colored cellophane and put across the picture, and then it was made it a whole lot better. The biggest thing that was wrong with it, that they were very large in size, black and white. The cost was very expensive, and you still had to be in one place to see it. Okay, let's take a flashback to the present day. What do we have now we did not have 65 years ago? Well, we've got the internet. The internet come through, and it makes everything so much easier to find different items that you're looking for. Almost everyone either has a cell phone or a computer. Scenario. Let me give you a scenario of how this would work in modern day with all the new things that we have. You live here in Marion, Kansas. You got a nice looking car, and you're driving around on a Sunday afternoon. The sun is bright and everything, and you think, hey, my car is pretty dirty, and I need to find some place to get it washed. So all you have to do is you grab your phone, you type in car wash, and bang, just like that, you got this ad. Looky there, Burkholder's Car Wash. Bring in your car and wash your troubles away. Now that guy, he's got something really going for him. And by the way, Kevin, I'm going to send you a bill for your advertising on this podcast. And you can do the same thing with this podcast. You go to youtube.com, type in MCTV20 Live, click on the podcast button. And this brings us up to the end of AI. I don't know how many of you have even tried AI. I use it every once in a while. You just log into AI and you can ask it to find information for you. You can ask it to write a speech for you. All you have to do is you type in all your information as far as what you want in your speech, and you hit a button, and like 5 seconds, it's already kicked out a whole speech for you, and it goes and puts in some other things too to make it sound like you really know what you're doing, even if you don't. Another thing you can do, you can go into it and say, I'm wanting to make a birthday card for my granddaughter who's turning 12, and she's really a nice girl and everything, and bang, 5 seconds later, it kicks you out a picture of a birthday card with some kind of a background on it and puts all that information on it. If you're needing to make an outline for something that you're going to do, set up, the same way, you can just give it the information and it'll come up with it. The last thing, what you can do with AI is you just go in and say, I'd like to talk to you about this subject, and you type in what you want to know, and they'll come back to you, and you can answer back to them, and it's just really a nice thing, but who knows where it might go in the future. So right now I'm getting this voice in my head that says, shut up, Gene. It's time to move on and get this podcast on over. So we're going to go back in, and I just want to put up this contact information here again, that if you have something in the way that you would like to come and do. Just some of these old timers I'd like to get in here and just sit with them and just have them talk about back in the good old days. That would be good. So here's upcoming podcast. Don Ramers coming in from the high school. Krista Snyder, Marion County Health Department, and the St. Luke Department at the hospital. There's going to be a lot of different people that can use this service, and we'd be glad to use it for us. So we got one last thing here, and that's the thought for the day. Respect your parents. They passed school without Google. So that's something that you just don't think about, and just respect your parents and be happy if you still have them around. So we're going to end this podcast now, and I'd like to ask you all to just be safe and drive carefully. Goodbye.